there, cuts it back, Hamilton!
And how about the North Carolina Courage as we welcome you to Zions Bank Stadium in Utah as part of our continued coverage of the NWSL Challenge Cup. It's the Aetna North Carolina Courage pregame show as we're less than a half an hour away from the North Carolina Courage and the Chicago Red Stars, a rematch of last year's NWSL championship game, won 4-0 by the North Carolina Courage. Hello, everybody. I'm Dean Linke, proud to be the longtime voice of the North Carolina Courage, even prouder to be with each and every one of you. Thanks for all of your support. So glad to hear that you're enjoying the pregame and postgame shows and also on the road with Continental Tire. We'll get back on the road with Continental Tire this week. Anna Whitty will have more on the schedule a little bit later. Speaking of Anna Whitty, it is my pleasure to welcome in my co-host, the former North Carolina FC youth, Cary High School and Penn State soccer player. Anna, game day on a Sunday. You got to love it.
Yes, of course. It's great to be back with you. Had a happy 4th, but I'm ready for some more soccer.
All right, let's tell everybody what's coming. We're going to show some highlights from both teams on what they've done so far. We're going to do a little trivia with Anna Whitty. She's going to test your knowledge of the North Carolina Courage. We're going to have an interview featuring Denise O'Sullivan done by the folks at NWSL. We will take a look at the head-to-head comparison, which, by the way, Chicago's the only team that is on the upside of the matchup against the North Carolina Courage. That will be interesting. We'll go to the Continental Tire Coaches Corner and the visit with Paul Riley, where he'll unleash the lineup. We'll have Anna Whitty's take on the lineup. We'll talk about Chicago's lineup as they return to their lineup they used in their first game. We'll talk health. And then we'll send it out with one more video recap so far of the North Carolina Courage. With that, let's go to work and start to talk about this game. And let's show some highlights so far from Chicago as Chicago came into this game against Washington. They played two completely different lineups so far, Anna.
Yeah, and I think we are going to see exactly what we saw when they played the Spirit, except for one small change in the back line and the midfield. But yeah, Kalia Watt had a great game against the Spirit. She really challenged them on the side, really got the crosses off, gave them opportunities that way. I feel like that's what we're going to see again from mid today. That's how they'll be dangerous. But yeah, we will see Alyssa Nair again in goal. But the Washington Spirit will able to exploit them down the middle of their back line and get some shots off that way. That's how Rose had her big goal at the beginning of the game. But like Paul Riley said earlier, the Chicago Red Stars should be really dangerous in the midfield. Is where he expects them to be the most dangerous today. Morgan Bryan, formerly known as Morgan Bryan, Morgan Gautreau had her game, I guess, tying goal, or I guess she had the only goal for the Red Stars against the Spirit. She was able to follow up. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they bring against the Courage today. We should see a lot of what we saw in this game that you see on your screen right now from the Red Stars. But I think they'll bring their A game like everyone does against the Courage.
Yeah, listen, Nair actually had a rare mishap that you never see from the starting goalkeeper for the U.S. Women's National Team, where former North Carolina Courage player Ashley Hatch was able to capitalize, and that turned out to be the difference as Nair just a blunder in goal back there, right?
Yeah, that was not what I was expecting to see from her, but Hatch used her speed against Nair and was able to put it in the back of the goal. But like the Red Stars can't do this against the Courage either, because Lynn Williams will do the same thing that Ashley Hatch did against them the other night, and will find the back of the net if they make that mistake again.
McCaskill, the former University of South Carolina superstar, started in that second game, a completely different 11. I never seen anything like it. And their two center backs, Hannah Davison and Kayla Sharples, who, like you, played in the Big Ten for Northwestern. Started at center back. You see Davison right there, one of my broadcast partners with the Big Ten Network. I was excited for them to get a start. At the end of the day, you got these two powers, Portland and Chicago, but it ended up 0-0. Those were the highlights from the Chicago Red Stars. Now let's have some fun and take a look at the highlights so far for the North Carolina Courage, as they've been impressive in both games.
Definitely. They even put in some new players in their last game who really stepped up, in my opinion, and played well. They kept it 0-0 at the half, but then, of course, they made those 3 huge substitutions, and they were able to get the 2-0 win against the Spirit. But, yeah, look at that shot. I think that was Davina's shot that we saw the other night. Wild. Her shot is just so fantastic, and it comes out of nowhere, which hopefully could potentially catch Alyssa Nair off guard today. And then Carrie had a great shot from outside the 18 the other night. She had a great game in the midfield. She proved to be a versatile player, where we even saw her on the right back the other night. But, yeah, some great shots from them out far. I think they were just taking their chances to kind of see where – testing these goalies, kind of see where they are at in this tournament so far.
Carrie Riccaro, multiple looks at that shot in the final seconds of the first half. She did her job. Davina always does her job. Paul Riley has not been able to take her out, doesn't want to take Lynn Williams out, doesn't want to take Jaylene Daniels out, as they came in super fit. Lynn Williams with that unbelievable goal where she made the tackle, made the run, was able to take it all the way down. That was her second goal of the tournament. Watch this right here, getting through the tackle, and then off she goes, Anna.
Yeah, that was just such an impressive performance from her, and just playing 2 games so quickly back-to-back. Aubrey Bledsoe's a great goalkeeper, and the fact that she was able just to slot it in right behind her to set the tempo from this team. But the Courage don't have another game for 8 more days. So we're going to see every play on this field giving it their all, knowing that they have over a week to rest before their next game. So I think this will be great from the Chicago side and the Courage side, because they've got everything to play for. They have plenty of time to rest after this game in the preliminary round.
Yeah, Lynn Williams was not done, though, as the talented Davina finding Lynn Williams wide open and then just getting a touch on it to get it by Bledsoe and give the North Carolina Courage a 2-0 win. You see Crystal Dunn, Sam Mewis, Denise O'Sullivan, they all came in the second half, and they were super impressive. So those are the highlights for the Red Stars and the North Carolina Courage. And now it's trivia time. Take it away, Anna.
All right, guys, Courage fan, let's go to fanzone.northcarolinafc.com to answer these questions that I have for you. Number 1, which Courage player scored the team's first ever goal at Shailene Stadium? Was it A, Davina, B, Lynn Williams, C, Jessica McDonald, or D, Leah Pruitt? And then number 2, which Courage goalkeeper was given the Golden Glove Award for her 4 clean sheet performance at the CONCACAF U20 Championship in 2014? Was it A, Caitlin Rowland, B, Stephanie LeBay, or C, Sabrina D'Angelo? And then your last question is, which current Courage defender was the 2016 SEC Defender of the Year? A, was it Kaylee Kurtz? B, was it Crystal Dunn? Or C, was it Kristen Hamilton? So make sure you head over to fanzone.northcarolinafc.com to answer those questions.
And remember, if you keep answering the questions correctly, there'll be prizes given out at the end of the NWSL Challenge Cup. Again, Dean Linke with Anna Whitty, our co-host here on the Aetna Game Show. And I've got to do one plug, as we remind you that you can still purchase 4 qualifying Continental Tire passenger tires and receive a $70 prepaid Visa card. Continental Tire, the official sponsor of the North Carolina Courage. All right, Denise O'Sullivan, the Junkyard Dog. She was on the press conference yesterday, stayed around and spent some time with the new NWSL Director of Communications. Let's take a look at Denise O'Sullivan's interview from Utah.
We're here with Denise O'Sullivan from North Carolina Courage. Denise, obviously a strong start, which has come to be what everyone's used to from North Carolina. But with a tournament like this, after such a long layoff, what have you seen from the team that's kind of surprised you in these first few matches?
Great start, obviously, for us. 2 wins. I think the first performance wasn't to our standard. It wasn't the best performance for us, and we noticed that and we recognised that. But second performance was much better, and I think what I've seen is other people getting a chance, rookies coming in, getting an opportunity. So that's been absolutely fantastic, and we've improved on the second performance, and we just keep going down, improving as a team. I think that's the most important thing for us, is not results, just the performance.
And like you said, there have been some new faces that have seen some time. And in the last match, we saw a strong first half, but with a new little rotation in there. And then obviously off the bench in the second half comes you and Sam and some other regular starters. What does that say about the depth of North Carolina?
Yeah, we have a lot of good players, amazing roster. So everyone's been doing absolutely fantastic in preseason. Paul noticed that and wanted to give others an opportunity. So that was fantastic for us to see, and then getting the opportunity to come on in the second half and try and change the game and, do good for our teammates. So me, Sam and Crystal came on and, just work hard. I think that's the most important thing for us, is that's the courage mentality. Just come on, do your best, and luckily we got 2 goals in the end.
Do you think the courage mentality of that, obviously high energy, fast play, plays a little bit of an advantage with this type of schedule where there is such a quick turnaround time, or is it a little bit of a disadvantage?
I think it's an advantage, yeah. I think our mentality is, all about working hard for each other and, pressing high. And obviously it's hard in this altitude and in this hot weather, but, we're all there for each other, and it's tough times as well. But we have a big roster, like I said, and Paul changes that around and gives every player an opportunity.
Great. Well, thanks so much, Denise.
Thank you.
All right, I love the Junkyard Dog. I'm a massive fan of Denise O'Sullivan. I love the way she plays. Yesterday, Anna Whitty, in the press conference, I asked her about the fact that she's been on the ground a lot. She rolled her ankle in the last game coming on in the second half. She gets beat up the entire time, but she always gets up and she's ready to go.
Yeah, I think they're going to see a lot of the biggest challenges in today's game the battles, not challenges, are going to be in the center of the field. So I'm excited to see how she responds, how the whole Courage midfield as a whole respond. But yeah, like you said, they kick her down, but she gets back up every time.
When we take a look at the Coastal Credit Union matchup numbers, I think, Anna, you'll admit that you were surprised to learn that the Chicago Red Stars actually have an advantage. They're the only team in the NWSL that has won more games against North Carolina Courage. Now, they didn't win the most important game last year. It was a 4-0 thrashing as the Courage beat the Red Stars. But when you look at these numbers, it's mind-boggling. The Red Stars with a better record over the Courage.
I know, 5 wins. The Red Stars have won 5 times. The Courage have only won 4 times. I think both teams know this. They both know that this is going to be a game that's anybody's game at this point, and this whole entire tournament. But like you said, I had no clue. I didn't know that they were so tight like this. But yeah, I think that's a good point, saying that this tournament can be anybody's game, and everyone just needs to step out on the field and play their best game, and who knows what the outcome will be.
It's important to point out, you see the goals for 20-17 for Chicago. At one point, it was 17-16 before the North Carolina Courage hung 4 on them in the championship game. One guy that's always going to set us straight, he's going to tell us exactly who's starting, why they're starting, what the approach is the great Paul Riley. And we caught up with him on the Continental Tire Coaches Corner. All right, here we go. The Continental Tire Coaches Corner. That means another visit with the top man of the North Carolina Courage, the great Paul Riley. And Paul, here we go. 2 games, 2 wins. How you feeling going into this game against Chicago, a rematch of last year's championship game?
Yeah, obviously it's always a tough opponent for us. I think over the years it's been our toughest opponent. Lost a lot of games over the years to them, and the final we played really well last year, especially the first 45 minutes when we kind of won the game. But they're a difficult game for us. They match up well against us. Obviously, they're minus Sam Kerr, which is a huge loss, but they've still got some excellent players, and they're very good in the midfield, and that's where we normally win any game in the midfield. And it's the engine room of our team and probably the engine room of their team too. So, I'm happy with the 2 performances. We got a little bit better in the second game, improved on a few things. Certainly the press improved, the counter press improved, which are 2 big pluses for us. We got the ball back a lot quicker. We were able to pin them in, and I thought we managed the second game really well in terms of exerting very little energy. Second half, just keep possession, and making it difficult for the opponent. So I was really pleased with the way we managed the game. We saved a bit of energy too, and obviously we made 5 field changes for that one. And we got some people much needed rest as we go into Chicago. But Chicago's a tough game, and Alyssa Nair always stands on her hands for this one. She's makes a lot of saves. I think we had 42 shots one day, I remember, and didn't get a goal past her. So she can be tricky, and they do have JJ and Morgan Bryan and Yugi up front, and Ohai now, or what as she's now called, on the wings, and Hill on the other wings. They've got some pace in those flank areas, but I'm hoping that we can get at them and play the way we want to play, and at least get a good performance. The result is the result. Again, I think we're doing all right with 6 points, but not really care about the points. It's really if we could just have a really good performance and improve on the other night. And there are things I think we can improve. Our delivery, our final delivery has to get better. Our defending on crosses has to be better. We have to block more crosses. And I think I was happy with the possession, the attacking half. I think we can do a little bit better in the defensive half in terms of possession and building. We've been working on building the last 2 days, so hopefully we'll be a little bit cleaner in the build. And obviously these teams are dropping off. They got a low confrontational line, which gives us a chance to get out and get ourselves set in the midfield. And I thought the midfield's been very good, and the shape of the midfield's been good. And I'm excited to keep watching this box progress as we go through the tournament and getting better. And obviously Lynn's in fine form, which helps. And it's finding a partner for her. I think for the run in here to get a partner for Lynn. For the quarterfinal, it's in good form, and we'll see how that plays out.
Before we get to the lineup today against Chicago, I do think it's worth mentioning. One, it's pretty amazing that you can bring on O'Sullivan, Dunn, and Mewis in the second half. But I want to make sure that Carrie and Meredith and Mackenzie get credit, because at the end of the day, it was still 0-0 at the half. They did their job, right, Paul?
Yeah, to be honest with you, it was projected changes already before the game. We were going to pull them at halftime no matter what. If Mackenzie Meehan scored a hat trick, she still would have come off at halftime. So it was the plan to pull Mackenzie, because we feel that we wanted to get her Hammy a half game. So Crystal another half game. It's important for her fitness, and then we obviously Sam and Sully. I thought Mary Speck was very, very good. I thought Carrie was good, but they both held their own. And to be honest with you, I think the result would have gone our way either way. But it just happened to be that obviously we make the changes and it all looks beautifully strawberries and creamish that they went in and we won the game. But it's more than that. I think we just got a grip of the game completely. Second half we scored early, which obviously helped. I'd like to see us score in the first half sooner or later, and play like that from the start of the game and really get at teams. But I was really happy with the 3 of them, to be honest with you. And again, Mackenzie's in the run to be Lynn's partner right now. Lynn's our prime striker. We've got Jess knocking on the door, should be available, probably not tomorrow, but certainly for next week. So I think our depth is telling here, and hopefully it will tell as we go through the tournaments. We're able to pull players off, give them rest, and keep them going all in the right direction. So we got everybody healthy going into the quarterfinal.
We always feel honored here on the Continental Tire Coaches Corner that you unveil the lineup here first, Paul. So break down the lineup in this rematch of last year's championship game.
Yeah, we're going to make a change in goal. Kate Rowland's going to go in goal. Obviously, we have 3 great goalkeepers, and Steph didn't have a great game against Portland, so that's why I wanted to play her. We were going to make changes Wednesday in goal, but I wanted to play well, and she had a really good game, I thought, Wednesday. So easy drop today to leave her out. I wouldn't say drop, but easy opportunity to leave her out, and Kate Rowland will come in net. Right back will be Ryan Williams, getting her first time of the tournament. She's been very patient, and Addie's had 2 tremendous games. Addie's a bit banged up, not used to the physicality of the league and the speed of the league, so she's a little bit banged up. So we're going to give her a breather tomorrow. Bring Ryan Williams at right back. Abby Dalkamp, who jumps back into the centre back with Abby Erzig. Jillian Hinkle at left back. What a tournament she's having. And then in the midfield, the box is the box. It'll be Sam and Sully, bottom of the box, and Crystal Dunn and Dabinia at the top of the box. And then up in the high ones, it'll be Kristen Hamilton going to get another run with Lynn Williams. So we've made some changes, obviously, from the last game, but it's pretty close to what we would look at our best lineup, we think, right now going out. So I'm excited to see them play again against a very, very good team that's going to give us a lot of challenges, and hopefully we can get it done.
If the tournament ended today, I was talking to some of your players after the last game, and we were like, who do you pick for MVP? Dabinia, Lynn Williams, or Jaylene Daniels? Like, any one of those 3 could be the MVP of the tournament.
I would say so, no question. And I don't think Sullivan would be far behind, to be perfectly honest with you. She's, she only played a half last time, but she's been tremendous for us too. And it's good that those 4 are in such great form, and you're still getting, really great games out of Abby Erzig, and Dalkamp was good in the first game. Sam Ewis is starting to really pick up. I thought she had a great half on Wednesday night. So Crystal Dunn's starting to get fit. So, we're not there yet. I think we're still a work in progress. I got to be honest with you. I think another 2 weeks into the quarterfinal will be really good for us and give us a good, 14 days, or I think it's actually 11 days, but of preparation to get the team ready. Because I do think we need to work on quite a few things. And I want to get everybody fully ready to go. And I think you'll see us get a little bit better and tick a few more boxes after each game.
Last question for. So our Continental Tire Coach's Corner, looks like we lost some audio there from Paul Riley as he was going to start breaking down the keys to the game. And he did talk about the midfield again, Anna Whitty, which you already touched on. The game will be won in the midfield.
Yeah, he did say that. But I also think the game and for the Red Stars up top with Yuki Nagasato and Kalia Watt, they're really good players out wide. I was rewatching the game that they played against the Spirit, and the Red Stars had 31 crosses, and the Spirit only had 12. And that's a huge number of crosses to have off in one single game. So I think Jaylene Daniels as well as Ryan Williams are going to have to be really cautious of that out wide. They can't be caught too high when they're on the attack because they like to get out wide, and that's how they like to attack other teams.
Go ahead.
So go ahead.
Well, Paul Riley just broke down the starting lineup, so let's take a look at the Bojangles starting lineup as our VP of Broadcasting, Jorge Acuña's got it right there. I'll tell you that box in the middle is huge, but I know you've got your eyes on the right back. Ryan Williams will get a chance to start. Caitlin Rowland will get a chance to start in goal.
Yeah, I guess starting in the back with Caitlin Rowland. She played at UCLA. She's been with the team since they were with the New York Flash. And she was the starter in 2018 when they won the championship. So she's got plenty of experience back there, maybe not as much current experience, but I think she'll do well in that back line. She's used to playing with all of these players. And then for Ryan Williams, she is a little different. She hasn't really played a lot. I think, again, for her, this tournament is a great opportunity for her to show and prove her game. She played at TCU. So I'm excited to see what she does back there to give Addison Merrick a little bit of a break, but she's been with the team long enough to understand how they want to play back in that back line.
You heard a lot of news about the fact that Vlatko Antonovsky, the new coach for the U.S. Women's National Team, was asking the coaches to watch the minutes for the national team players. We've seen that with Mewis. We've seen that with Dunn. We've not seen that with Lynn Williams. I got to believe Vlatko's okay with that because I've said this before. When Lynn Williams gets done playing, it looks like she could play another 90 minutes.
Yeah, she is just another level of fit. She's able to play all 90 minutes of each game, which is just so impressive in and of itself. But I think if she's willing to play, she says, I'm ready, and I feel up for the challenge, then I don't see why they should take her out. She's been scoring all of their goals for them, creating most of the opportunities in the attack. So why not keep her playing up there?
Keep in mind, they still have 5 subs. So obviously with this lineup, you won't see Dunn, Mewis, and O'Sullivan coming off the bench. So we'll have to see what kind of subs Paul Riley decides to go with. Remember, Allie Watt is out with that torn ACL. Jessica McDonald is believed to still be 1 game away as we take a look at the health report presented by Aetna. We think Jessica McDonald, we may see her in the next game.
Yeah, that's what Paul Riley hinted to a few days ago. But I don't know. Maybe they'll put her in just to get a few minutes before they head on into the games that are a little bit more serious, I guess you would say, or are bigger at stake. Get her a few touches on the ball before they go into that game. But I don't think we'll see her out here tonight or today.
Yeah, probably not today, but perhaps in that last game. All right. We don't have a graphic because the Red Stars released their lineup late, but the word is, with the exception of Colaprico getting in there, it's the same lineup they opened up with in the first game. Remember, first 11, next game, a totally different 11. This time Colaprico comes in, but Julie Ertz, arguably one of the best players in the world, is back in the lineup as well. Yeah, and I think a good thing that Rory Dames did for them, they put Julie in the back line. I think they needed a little bit more leadership back there and a little bit older players back there just to help out and make sure that back line plays the way they should, because I think they're going to get pressed a lot in this game.
So Danielle Colaprica is going to take Julie Ertz's position and play kind of their sixth position. And then, of course, Morgan Gautreau and Vanessa DiBernardo are going to be playing up there in the attack. Morgan had their only goal so far, actually, against the Spirit. And then Vanessa is known to give them a lot of assists. She creates a lot of opportunities for them in the attack. And then Rachel Hill and Yumi Nagasato, along with Kalia Watt, excuse me, I keep saying her name wrong, they're gonna give them a lot of chances out wide, really take opportunities to play against them out wide. So Jaylene Daniels is gonna have to be a little cautious of that, not go into the attack too far, and make sure she's able to recover, because she knows that they will probably play that way. But like I said, the starting lineup against the Spirit looks a lot like their starting lineup tonight.
All right, so look forward to seeing how Caitlin Rowland does. She's been a great teammate supporting Stephanie LeBay. She has started some big games. She's been in goal for championship wins as well, so hopefully she'll do okay. We'll keep an eye on Ryan Williams. We'll definitely have the Jaylene Daniels nutmeg counter going, because she's been incredible. Hopefully she can get involved. We'll be tracking Dabinia, running all over the place, see how many points she gets. And, of course, we're all going to be watching to see if Lynn Williams can score again in 3 consecutive games. Money is on Lynn Williams for Epps getting it done again.
I think so, and I think she's got a lot of help from the Courage today. I think she's gonna find the back of the net like she does every game. I think Kristen Hamilton potentially could get an opportunity off. They just need to find a way to navigate through this back line, similarly to the way the Spirit did. So I think the Courage have some great opportunities up top for sure.
All right, before we close it out, we've got a little video to play for you before we get ready for the North Carolina Courage and the Chicago Red Stars. I want to thank Aetna, the sponsor of the North Carolina Courage pregame show. Join us immediately after the game, where we're going to do our best. No promises. We're going to do our best to go raw, go live, grab players, and interchange, Anna, where we'll talk, put a player in there, come back, hopefully have another player. That's the goal. We'll see what we can do. But we're going to try to start pretty soon after this North Carolina Courage Red Stars game. I want to thank all of our great corporate partners and Kyle Prairie and Santiago in the game for getting it done. I want to thank Jorge Acuna, the VP of Broadcasting. I want to thank my great co-host, Anna Whitty. Anna, it's great to be with you as well. Of course, I'll see you in a couple hours for the post-game show. We'll leave you with the video and a message of how about the North Carolina Courage. We'll see you for the Charles and Colvard post-game show after this match. Thanks for being with us, everybody.
Yeah, we're looking forward to the tournament. Obviously, it's been a strange pre-season, to say the least. We're raring to go, to be perfectly honest. We've been kicking each other for a long time now, for the last month, and it'd be nice to kick somebody else.
Ready for kickoff. It's number 1 and number 2.
The North Carolina Courage come through to score the first goal of the NWSL Challenge Cup. North Carolina and Lynn Williams finally come through.
But I think the first 20 minutes, you could see we were so excited, and I'm happy to get back out there and play again.
Williams scores for the Courage. North Carolina up 2-0. And she's done it again.